I read recently that Soul Patts was one of the financiers of Stanmore Coal's acquisition of 80% stake in BHP's Mitsui Coal and was considering financing Whitehaven Coal's acquisition of the Blackwater and Downier mines. Is this a strategic decision by the board of Soul Patts to lend to companies like Whitehaven and other undiversified coal companies when major domestic and global banks are backing away from coal? If so, what assessments or due diligence has the board done to understand the risks of lending to a company which has plans to mine coal out until 2120? Can the board please advise what Soul Patts' lending exposure is to coal companies at this time, and will this information be disclosed in reporting to shareholders in the future?
Well, what I'd say about coal is it's something that we know pretty well, and we have a big exposure, obviously, through the equity that we own in New Hope. So in terms of the strategy and the analysis that we're undertaking around investing in other coal businesses, we feel very comfortable in the knowledge that we believe that coal will be needed for some time to come. But when you talk about the life of some of those assets going out to 2100 plus, we are not making equity investments in those names that you mentioned. We're looking at them from a debt perspective, and a typical debt instrument would last no longer than 5 years, and in fact, often quite less. So we really only need to take a view on a very short term for that business being profitable and able to repay its debt. And that, of course, is something that we're very comfortable with.
But you haven't really answered the question, particularly about disclosure of financing to coal in future financial reports.
Well, what I would say to the question around, are we making our investment decisions based on past information rather than future information? Absolutely not. I mean, across the board, we pride ourselves on being unemotional and rational decision makers, looking at the facts as at the time that we invest, but also taking a long-term view around the future of the industries that we invest in. I invite you and everybody else here to have a look at the sustainability report that New Hope releases to the ASX. I think it captures very well our belief in the future of coal and the work that we've done to understand the future demand.